Hello everyone, I am CoolGuy. Welcome back. It is week 7 of our weekly vendor reset for our weapons. Now, this is for the weapons specifically. It takes a lot of time to do it. But if you're looking for PvE resets, Messerschon's your man. He has Nightfall. I mean, just looking by the thumbnail, like lots of good stat rolls this week, so it's definitely worth it to check it out. And let's go and start off with Ronnie. He is our Vanguard Quartermaster, and he's always a nice guy. Let's see what he has this week. Starting off with the Continental, we just went over a comparison video on what to look out for. We do have a counterbalance Continental. Do we have one of the main perks? We do. It's Battle Runner. So our sights are red dot, ORA, steady hand, and the OEG rifle scope. So it's Battle Runner or Hipfire, hand-laid stock, or feather mag, and then counterbalance. So you can get into trouble with hand-laid stock, but I'm telling you right now, the hand-laid counterbalance is going to be one of the more purest weapons you've ever shot in Destiny as far as accuracy, but you're going to have low range, and that's that trade-off that we talked about. So feather mag is an option to get that max reload speed with Battle Runner to just be a quick weapon. So I do recommend this roll this week. Maybe not top tier, but it is a good starter roll. It's not bad at all. Now let's see what we have with the Parthian shot, high impact pulse rifle. We have the reflex sight, the quick draw, and then the OEG. We have outlaw or take a knee, hand-laid stock, lightweight, and counterbalance. So yeah, there's nothing really bad to say about this roll. It's another good starter roll, even a top tier roll. You can never look past counterbalance on these things. And you know what? Hand-laid stock is going to give you stability to pair with counterbalance, and you do affect that range a little bit, but this is one of the higher ranged pulse rifles in the game. And then we have outlaw for a quick reload, or we have take a knee, and we've discussed this all the time. So yes, if you don't have a Parthian shot, this is a good one to pick up to get your feet wet in the archetype. We have the Angel's Advocate, like the Mida multi-tool. It's the red dot ORA2, the range lens RLR5, and then the OEG. We have Zen Moment. It's very good on a scout rifle. And then Take a Knee, of course. Brace frame for a lot of stability with Take a Knee, but we lower our mag, and then high caliber rounds or return to sender. And with the low magazine, maybe return to sender could be good in PvE. It's just an all-around decent roll. It's not the best roll, it's not the worst roll. It's going to be up to you. And you know, we have a lot of marks this week, but a lot of us don't have a lot of vault space, so be very careful with what you pick up. For the How Dare You, we're going to bring this up because we have the True Sight, we have the Fast Draw and the Quick Draw, Mulligan or partial refund, rifled barrel, high caliber rounds, and then rangefinder. So if you're feeling dangerously, if you like to live dangerously on the edge, we have a rifled barrel rangefinder. How dare you? It's going to be up to you. This is one of the best possible. This is the best possible thing that this hand cannon could ever get. But we have the choice of mulligan or partial refund. It's going to be up to you. The X Astros we're going to pass on this week. It does have Battle Runner and Hot Swap. Teacup Tempest, we always have to look at the sidearms because they are kind of meta, right? Steady hand, fast draw, quick draw. We have Relentless Tracker or Army of One, fitted stock or lightweight, and then hidden hand. You know what? There's nothing really bad to talk about. Army of One's, like I said, a very good passive perk on a sidearm because you're gonna get very quick unassisted kills in PvE or PvE. Relentless Tracker, you get that extra pie in the radar. So between these two, fitted stock or lightweight, personally it's a toss-up. You're not going to feel that much stability once it's already that high. And lightweight, you know, you already feel kind of fast and snappy with sidearm, so it's going to be up to you, and hidden hand's never a bad option. We have the Razor we are going to pass this week, the 7 cents. Let's see if we do have the quick draw or snapshot. We have Grenadier Spray and Play, armor piercing rounds, perfect balance and unflinching. Long View, Hawkeye, and Taxus, and I don't mind the Taxus, and remember the Taxus is the icebreaker scope as far as zoom factor, so it's going to be up to you. Next we have the Bone Crusher, high impact machine gun, the Accurize, smart drift control field choke, unflinching, underdog, small bore, quick draw, or crowd control. So you know what, this is going to be a good PvE machine gun, I would say, maybe even PvP, but we do have Iron Banner this week, and some people don't play PvP, and I know that. But there is an opportunity of a better Silver Dredge in the Iron Banner, whether it be from a bounty or whatnot. So the Bone Crusher is going to be up to you. I would personally pass, but there's actually another LMG later on that we're going to talk about that's very interesting. We have the Disassembly Required, Warhead Veneers, and this thing has good blast radius and velocity. Warhead Veneers, linear, and countermass. We have Vacuum, Life Support, Snapshot, Heavy Payload, and then Cluster Bomb. And we talk about Cluster Bomb specifically for Axis. I do have a Warpath that is Cluster Bomb Spray and Play and Field. It does massive damage and I enjoy it. I also have the Dead Orbit one, which we'll talk about here in a second. So let's go ahead and actually move on to Dead Orbit. First, starting off with the Extremophile, and we did talk about these in a previous video. So we have the Reflex, the Quick Draw, and the OEG Rifle Scope. We have armor-piercing rounds or snapshot, hammer forged or spray and play, and the glass half full. So I would really have liked a reducing mag right here with spray and play, glass half full. It would have been perfect if we would have had something that reduces the mag, but you know what? They both can roll glass half full, and it would be armor piercing rounds or snapshot. So the Continental would be a better option this week. We have the Keystone, higher impact scout rifle, and the stability is low, but you know, we do know that it kind of resets after we shoot it. So the red dot ORA, the range lens, and the OEG. We have extended mag, quick draw, small bore, unflinching, and Firefly. Always a great PvE perk. I would go with extended mag, unflinching, and Firefly, because we don't want to, I mean, I'm not sure, some weapons is glitched out where small bore doesn't reduce the mag. I'm not sure with the Keystone. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comment section, but we do have extended mag, unflinching, and Firefly. Always a good combination. It's going to be a very good PvE scout rifle. Worlds to come, we're going to pass. Now the last ditch, it's interesting because we have a couple range perks. So first, starting off, we have smart drift control, field choke, soft ballistics. I would go with field choke. We do have hand-loaded snapshot, hammer forged cascade, and crowd. We want the two range perks, so we would go hand-loaded, hammer, and crowd. And a lot of players are switching to crowd control and performance bonus instead of rangefinder, because rangefinder, even though it does help, it does have a little bit slower ADS. So that's going to be up to you. Bitter Edge, it's a good sniper rifle. We have the Sightsus, Ambush, and Taxus. Skip round snapshot. Snapshot's pretty big. We have hammer forged, life support, and unflinching. So personally, I would go with snapshot, life support, unflinching. Up to you. I would personally pass this week. And then finally, the Unto Dust rocket launcher, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more, because even though it has very poor blast radius and very poor velocity, so it takes forever to get there, and it doesn't really explode very much, but it does have good reload. This one has aggressive launch, soft launch, countermass, flared magwell or snapshot, perfect balance or battle runner, and then tracking. So tracking, we're talking about Crota, we're talking about getting a fast reload too if you need to shoot a third rocket, or in between phases, damage phases. So even in PvP, I mean, it's a tracking rocket launcher that's going to get off a couple really quickly. And before we go on to Future War Cult, this is the one that I have, and I've been using it almost extensively in PvE. I'm actually kind of liking it. I do have what we want. We have the Field Scout spray and play tracking combination. So be on the lookout for that if you do get it from a package. Let's see what Lakshmi has. Alright, so we're at the Future War Cult, and her voice kind of reminds me like an old lady at a bingo hall. I don't know what it is. So first, starting off with the Whale, and we're going to bring it up because it's something that I always bring up because we're almost there. We have the True Sight, Fast Draw, Quick Draw. This is armor piercing rounds or Quick Draw, small bore, relentless tracker, then hidden hand. So the Quick Draw, small bore, luck in the chamber, that's personally what I'm looking for because it's kind of a niche weapon. It gets a little bit of stability, it gets a little bit of range, and we reduce our mag down for luck in the chamber. So it's of the good archetype of hand cannon. You just need to be a little bit closer, and the Quick Draw kind of pairs really nicely with an icebreaker or something like that. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be up to you. Hidden hand's never a bad option, but we would pass. We have the Waltz. We're going to pass this week because we have a clever dragon out there. And again, I know not many people play PvP, but, you know, I personally would just pass on this roll, period. We have the Reflex Quick Draw OEG, armor piercing rounds Quick Draw, small bore Eye of the Storm, and glass half full. Small bore is going to help out with glass half, but I don't really like the sights. I don't really like the perks in general, and 150 marks is a lot, and our vault space is low. Just, it's an all-around pass. We have the Waiting, and you know what? I'm always going to bring up a knee pad fusion rifle because I like knee pads on a fusion rifle. This is the Reflex Red Dot ORA2 and the OEG. This is enhanced battery or snapshot, perfect balance, knee pads, and then hot swap. So it would be the knee pads hot swap combination. I would personally pass, but it's worth breaking up if you guys are interested. The Wounded Scout Rifle. I've been enjoying this. I've been using this a lot lately. So we have the Red Dot ORA2, the range lens, and the Reflex. Reflex is always good on this bad boy. We have Explosive Round Snapshot. Explosive Round's going to be for shanks and lower level stuff. Then we have Hammer Forged, Triple Tap, and Crowd Control. And honestly, this is a great PvE scout rifle because if, honestly, I would put on Explosive Rounds 4-axis, things like that, but if not, I would probably just go with Snapshot. That way it's not really messing up my shot when I'm trying to nail my precision hits with Triple Tap. Me personally, I have some issues sometimes with Explosive Rounds in PvE. That might just be a me thing, it might just be an all-around thing, but I would go Snapshot or Explosive explosive rounds when necessary, but the triple tap crowd control is always good. And what I like to do with these extra damage weapons, I'm talking about crowd control and reactive reload, we're talking about getting a kill on a lower kill mob like a thrall, immediately moving on to a knight, taking him down a little bit, then going back, killing a thrall, go back to get crowd control only for the knight. It's something that I like to do, and actually works on your target acquisition, so keep that in mind with this wounded and weapons like it. Then we have the Wormwood, and can we just go ahead and say get it? I mean, it has rangefinder, and you know, it's just going to be different types of rangefinder, you know, setups at this point, but we have True Sight, Sure Shot, Quick Draw, High Caliber Round, Snapshot, Fitted Stock, Cascade, and then a rangefinder. Top tier roll on the Wormwood, and then again, if you don't have one, you should have one by now. We have, I would go with high caliber rounds, and you know, fitted stock, the Cascade's kind of a meh perk, just because you have to pick up a box. If you're good about picking up your boxes, I would go with Cascade. If not, I would go with fitted stock, then rangefinder and PvP. We have the Warpath with cluster bombs. Now, this is aggressive launch, linear, and countermass. Field Scout, always going to be good. Snapshot, Javelin, Battle Runner, and then Cluster Bomb. So definitely Field Scout. It depends on where we want our velocity and or our blast radius. So I would personally go with Battle Runner. It could save you in PvE, and Cluster Bomb, again, specifically for access. Going to be up to you. Good starter roll. Alright, at the Crucible Quartermaster first, let's look at our bounties. We have an Auto Rifle bounty, Scout Rifle, Shotgun, Sniper, and Heavy. We have the Zero Day Dilemma, High Impact Auto Rifle, Red Dot ORA, Steady Hand OEG, Focus Fire, Eye of the Storm, Small Bore, Armor Piercing Rounds, and Glass Half Full. So this would be a PvE starter roll auto rifle. I mean, I like the Focus Fire, Glass Half Full aspect of this weapon for PvE. It's going to be up to you, but I would personally pass, but it's decent for what you want to do with it. We have the B29 Party Favor. It's like the Hawksaw, Blind Perdition. The Red Dot ORA2, Sure Shot. Sure Shot's always good in the OEG. Eye of the Storm, Partial Refund. Perfect Balance, a Pinned Magazine, Glass Half. So I am looking for a Party Favor with a Pinned Magazine encounter, or a Pinned Magazine with Headseeker. It just has to come at this point. I would personally pass on this roll, but that's something to look out for in the future. The Hero Formula, Fast Firing Scout Rifle. We have the Red Dot ORA, Range Lens OEG. Outlaw or Take-a-Knee. Take-a-Knee's been coming up a lot lately. And you know what? I hope a lot of people start using Take-a-Knee to try to see its benefits, but we have Braced Frame, Armor Piercing Rounds, and Third Eye. Not the best, not the worst. It's a usable scout rifle. You can't go wrong with the Braced Frame Outlaw combination to get some of that magazine going and flowing with the headshot. And then Third Eye, good passive perk. It's not the best, it's not the worst. It's gonna be up to you. We have the Palindrome, and if you missed last week, shame on you if you're a hand cannon user. We have Steady Hand Fast Draw, Quick Draw, Mulligan or Spray and Play, Rifled Barrel, High Caliber Rounds, or Third Eye. So yeah, this is going to be a good starter roll because we have Rifled Barrel. This is perfect. Then again, if you missed out last week, shame on you, but I would personally go, you know, both of them are just kind of meh, Mulligan or Spray and Play. Spray and Play might help you out, maybe with hand cannon reload gauntlets. If not, Mulligan's always there. But Rifled Barrel Third Eye is going to be decent. Each new day, we are going to talk about because of Counterbalance, and Counterbalance has made its way into more weapons as the games come on. I mean, it first started off, only machine guns had Counterbalance, but we have Reflex, Red Dot, OEG, Unflinching Life Support, Perfect Balance, Accelerated Coils, and then Counterbalance to keep that grouping just the side to side going straight. So, personally, you know, I'd go with range on fusion rifles, but with a counterbalance one, Perfect Balance would be a better option than Accelerated Coils. And then both of these, honestly, I would go with Unflinching with the Perfect Balance with the high stability. So, gonna be up to you. I would personally pass. 44 Curtain Call, we're going to bring it up because there's a new Monarchy shotgun just like it, and this is going to be a better option. We have the Linear, Field Choke, Soft. I would go with Field Choke. We have Performance Bonus or Knee Pads, Reinforced Barrel, Lightweight, and then Final Round. So we would go with the Field Choke. Both of these are really good, going to be up to you. Of course, Reinforced, and then Final Round. Good PvE or PvP shotgun. Anton's Rule does have rangefinder. We're going to pass on it. If you are at the Crucible and want to take a look at it, it's up to you. Now, the Event Horizon is very interesting because we have the Hawkeye, the View-Tac, or the Eagle Eye. This is Underdog Mulligan, Explosive Rounds, Casket Mag, and Firefly. Firefly is always good for hitting a mob in PvE, and it's always fun in PvP. It's always rewarding. But you know what? Maybe we can do Mulligan. I'm a big fan of Mulligan on the Sniper Rifle. Don't at me. But Explosive Rounds or Casket Mag, both good options for PvP, or PvE, I apologize, and then Firefly. This is decently rolled. I do recommend picking up if you don't have a high impact one. Chaotic Neutral, we're going to pass on, and then Something Wicked, we're going to bring it up because of the Tripod Field Scout combination with Battle Runner. So, Warhead Veneers, Smart Drift Control, and Countermass. You know, I would personally pass, but it is there if you do want something like this. I like the Field Scout Tripod. You can't really pass that up if you don't have something like that. It's really good to have for damage. And at New Monarchy, first starting off with the Assembly, it's a high rate of fire auto rifle, and the first couple weeks were fire of this thing, but we have the Red Dot ORA, Steady Hand OEG, high caliber rounds quick draw, hammer forged crowd control, and rangefinder. So these two are going to be good. It's going to be very hard to control. Only if you start getting a Gunslinger's Trance Chain of Woe going on a Gunslinger, it's going to be decent without counterbalance or high stability, but we do have high caliber rounds, crowd, and rangefinder. It might be decent in PvE. It's going to be up to you. We're going to have a lot of marks this week. It could be a little niche weapon. So for the free will here, the How Dare You, the Vanguard, a high rate of fire hand cannon is going to be a lot better, so we would pass. We would kind of skip over the Preacher. Bad Counsel is the same perks essentially as the Curtain Call, and the Curtain Call is going to be a better option all around. The other one actually has the option of performance bonus too. So next is the Deposition. And I'm going to bring this up because I had a no-scope in a video, and you can do this with a Take-a-Knee sniper rifle. This is Wild Hawk, Ambush, or ViewTac. ViewTac's that crazy-looking scope that was in the video, but Ambush is always good. Ambush is actually my favorite sight in the game that I've always used since my year 1 LDR. This is explosive rounds or snapshot, snapshot being the most important one. Hammer Forged, Mulligan, and Take-a-Knee. Don't at me on Mulligan. So I would go Snapshot, Mulligan, Take-a-Knee. It's going to be up to you. But you know what? We are going to talk about this First Citizen. I kind of bash it every single week, but this is crazy. We have accurized, linear, soft ballistics, high caliber rounds, quick draw, small bore, and hidden hand is a final perk, but we have Life Leech. Rare appearance of Life Leech, ladies and gentlemen. 3 rapid kills with this weapon heals a small amount and starts health regeneration. This could be very decent in PvE. And if you can get it to proc it in PvP, I'd like to see a clip of that. But this is worth talking about as a good starter role, or maybe even a top tier role for this First Citizen. Just because of Hidden Hand and as far as acquiring your target and keeping sticky on your target, maybe like in the Thrall Cave, you can put this thing in the magazine on Crota and just start going to town, getting your health as you go. This is very interesting, but it's going to be up to you. It's going to be on the list this week. So actually, for our top 3 weapons, you know, we have Iron Banner this week. We have a whole bunch of stuff. It's going to be up to you. The Parthian shot's really good. The Wormwood's really good. And, you know, and it's kind of a shame those have been on the list, but, you know, things like the How Dare You is going to be usable this week. There's going to be a lot of good starter roles. There's some user-specific ones like the sniper rifle with the Take-a-Knee, like the Deposition. So let me know in the comment section what you guys are looking forward to, and tell me a little bit about Mayhem Clash. I'm personally looking forward to it and very excited. And I will be picking up a couple of these weapons, and we might review a couple. And I'm going to be reviewing the Keystone versus the Wounded very shortly. They are different archetypes, but they can roll the same exact perks, but we're going to talk about their applications. Thank you guys for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.